E. Cummings was one of my mother's favorite poets, along with Adrienne Rich, who actually wrote a book called, I like this title, Needles in Haystacks. And of course, as a good UU, she also loved Mary Oliver's poetry, which I do too. But today we're talking about Cummings. And as Jan mentioned, E. Cummings' favorite breakfast was coffee black, cigarettes, and donuts. Now, I'm not going to serve you cigarettes, but we do have donuts and coffee. We try to claim E. Cummings as one of us, meaning a UU, but actually he died in 1962 before UUs existed. That was before the merger. And although his father was a Unitarian minister, or a PK, as we say, so am I, he was not a Unitarian and spoke very strongly to that fact. Although reading some of his poetry, I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, maybe we should claim him. My mom was something else. And one thing that I reflected upon this week is going back and remembering her from my childhood. Because the most current memories I have, of course, of her declining years, her last 3 years on this planet, she really didn't know she was here. But back then, she literally was a bra-burning liberal. She appeared on public TV to debate Roe versus Wade. And she said that although she wouldn't choose abortion for herself, thank goodness, because I'm the youngest of 5, she claimed the right of every woman to control their own destiny as far as recreation is concerned. That's my mom, an award-winning field hockey player, swimmer, athlete, much like my sis. But one thing that really sticks out about my mom is that she got it. I was in 8th grade, and a new kid moved into the area to our Timber Lane Middle School. His name was, and is, Bruce. And my God, was he cute. Oh, my Lord. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, skinny, just, I had a crush on him from the moment I saw him. And, of course, sought out a friendship with him. And, hey, Mom, can Bruce spend the night? We're going to watch movies. Yeah, sure, go ahead, whatever. Hey, Mom, can I stay at Bruce's house? His mother's making spaghetti. Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. And Mom got it. One morning, I went back to my bed, my unmade bed. I was in 8th grade after all. And there was what back then we called a Xerox copy of a poem by E. Cummings. And on top of the page, in Mom's handwriting, was, I know this is how you are with Bruce. She got it. Dad, not so much. I've read a lot of poetry. I've read a lot of love poetry. This one, however, seems to me to be the strongest I've ever read. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I'm never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And what is ever done by me is your doing, my darling. No fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for Beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Now, here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud and the sky of a tree called life, which grows stronger and higher than the soul can hope or the mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Edward Essling Cummings, born October 14th, 1894, died September 3, 1962, often styled as E.E. Cummings. He was an American poet, a painter, an essayist, 2 autobiographical novels, 4 plays, and several essays. He is often regarded as one of the most important American poets of the 20th century. Cummings is associated with the modernist free-form poetry. Much of his work has idiosyncratic syntax and uses lowercase spellings for poetic expression. His use of lowercase extended to the rendering even the personal pronoun I. And he was a lover of life. Maggie and Millie and Molly and May went down to the beach to play one day, and Mammy discovered a shell that sang so sweetly she couldn't remember her troubles. And Millie befriended a stranded star whose rays 5 languid fingers were. And Molly was chased by a horrible thing which waced sideways like blowing bubbles, and May came home with a smooth round stone as small as a world and as large as alone. For whatever we lose, like you or like a me, it's always ourselves we find in the sea. My mother came to my 6th grade class one day and did a program about E.E. Cummings. She showed how a leaf fall was written with individual letters, A, L, E, A, V, E, as the leaves were falling, cascading down the page, 1 by page, 2 by 2, and 3, and at the end, one word was written, L, oneness. And she asked the class, have you ever felt alone? And we cried. My mother, a poet and many other things, but I never felt alone with her, nor with Cummings. Humanity, I love you. Humanity, I love you because you would rather black the boots of success than inquire whose soul dangles from his watch chain, which would be embarrassing for both. Parties, and because you unflinchingly applaud all songs containing the words country, home, and mother when sung out loud. Humanity, I love you because when you're hard up, your intelligence to buy a drink, and when you're flush, pride keeps you sane. You are from the shop, and because you are continually committing nuances, but more especially in your house. Humanity, I love you because you are perpetually putting the secret of life in your pants and forgetting it's there and sitting down on it, and because you are forever making poems in the lap of death. Humanity, I love you. Our lives, alive in verse, whether they rhyme or not, whether they have rhythmic nuances or not, whether they are philosophic or frivolous or not, we are in verse. And in that, I say, Amen.